Really?
Hi,
Wow.
Michael. How are you?
Very well. It's lovely to meet you.
Lovely to meet you. I'm speaking to you from Toronto, where, of course, this wonderful film had its big world premiere. How exciting was it for you to have this film at TIFF?
It was it was phenomenally exciting. It was a very heady weekend because I flew in on the day of the premiere and flew out the next day because I'm in the middle
Right.
of doing stuff here in England. But it was like the most extraordinary whirlwind. That audience reaction on the night of the premiere was like nothing I've seen.
Yeah.
There was a lot of genuine affection that made it just made the plane journey back very nice.
Yeah. Oh, I'm hoping so. I'm glad. And of course, listen, I can't not, talk about the wonderful Harry Styles, because what's so great about having him in this and the buzz that obviously he brings to anywhere he goes. But I think what's really important about having him in this film, and Emma as well, is how young people, I think, are going to watch and see this film. Do you agree?
Not only do I agree, I think it's also probably part of not. It wasn't part of the casting, but it's definitely one of the most exciting knock-ons of the casting,
Yeah.
which is that I was personally born into the England that is portrayed in this film, and I'm very obviously proud of the huge advances that have been made over the last 40 years in terms of LGBTQ plus rights and everything. I think it's all great, but I do think for the first time in my lifetime, it's feeling a bit fragile again at the moment with
Yeah.
things that are going on in my own country, in the United States. I
Yeah.
feel it's, and so I think that the young people that particularly follow Harry and Emma, I think they're the generation, for me personally, I think they're the most unprejudiced generation that have ever been born. And I think to have them see this film and to learn and understand what it's like when there is a law that doesn't allow you to be yourself, to be
Yeah.
free, I
Yeah.
think they will be powerful advocates, I hope, for making sure that we never go back to that and actually keep moving forward. I think I couldn't have wished if these two roles had been played by anybody with far less of a following, this film might not have been seen by very many people. But now it's going to be seen by many, many young people, as you say. And I think that group particularly will look at this past and think never again.
Yeah, I hope so. I really do hope so. And
I
as
hope
you,
so.
attest to, seeing it in Toronto here, we have a good supportive group here for you. So I'm glad that was the kickoff. That's for sure.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Clearly, when you're making a film like this, you have to also be careful about intimacy and that it's done right. How, the scenes were absolutely beautiful, Michael. I thought you did a wonderful job directing it. How scary was it for you, or how open, obviously, were the actors to like just making sure that those scenes were done properly?
Well, that's the key. They were all very open. All three young actors knew that we had to tell two very different stories. One where Tom was with Marion, that was
Yeah.
about complicated and how difficult, and one that was about complete abandonment with Tom and Patrick. And they were all open to the understanding of how I said, I think to all of them from the beginning, quite often in a film, it can go story, 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 sex scene, story, story, story. And I said, I would love the intimacy scenes to be like scenes that don't have dialogue, but I want them to forward the story. That's
Yeah.
how I want to approach them. I want, when you watch them, you learn more about Marion and Tom and why something is difficult or why it's not working. You learn more about Tom and Patrick, and it moves the story forward each time. So I then sent them and said, I'd love you to look at a few films that have been huge influences on me about the way intimacy is handled and the way I would like us to approach the sensuality of it with almost like in a choreographic way. And so we had all the discussions because we were blessed with 3 weeks rehearsal. So we had all of these discussions in advance. And by the time we got to the days to shoot them, we knew exactly what we wanted to achieve. There was no danger on the day of the shoot of people going, now, how are we doing this scene? That didn't.
Yeah.
What was fantastic was we had talked everything through. We'd shaped most of it. We had a wonderful intimacy coordinator who's somebody I've worked with for 20 odd years as a choreographer, who joined us as a fully trained intimacy coordinator because I just knew he was the right presence in the room to make everybody feel comfortable. And everybody, as you say, it was just everybody was very grown up about it and knew that we had to do something that wasn't about starting a scene and then the camera somehow dissolving and doing something else, but actually holding it and making sure we told the story.
Yeah, listen, I wish I could talk to you for hours, but I just want to congratulate you on this beautiful film.